The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
Hi everyone, and welcome to a new vengeance-filled episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the guy with all the black eyeliner, Kyle Charles. And
the guyliner.
Guyliner,
That's what they call it. And the the surprise cameo at the end of the movie in the cell. See why, Chung?
Oh god, and we're gonna be talking about the new film that everyone's been waiting for because it's been delayed once or twice. I can't remember.
Yeah.
The Batman,
and
well,
okay, let's start non-spoilers, then we'll get to spoilers, right?
Yeah.
And because it's okay, here's the thing: it's a dense movie, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes we do this play-by-play breakdown, but you kind of can and you kind of can't with this movie because there's a lot to go through if you're gonna do that. So you might just skirt over certain things. But, no spoiler, I liked it. It moved quickly for a 3-hour movie. I mean, 2 and 40-something minutes.
Yeah.
Probably 10 minutes of worth was the credits as well. But, okay, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
If it was a 6-part TV series, where like an hour-long to 45 minutes episode each or something like that, right?
Yeah.
On HBO, I'd have been like, that's great, because there's something that there's not enough breathing room for, and some things move too quickly.
Yeah.
No spoiler, but this is obviously a movie about Batman, except there's not enough Bruce Wayne in it.
Yes, I would totally agree. There's not enough Bruce Wayne. Which isn't a bad thing in a way, but...
No. I mean, to be fair, in this story, Bruce Wayne is not... that Bruce Wayne persona is not relevant, but it could have been key for certain things that you could have approached rather than approached it Batman style if they were going to use it in this movie, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
But I like I would like to have more of it.
Because the bits you do get of Bruce Wayne, he seems like a mind my language, a bit of a bitch.
Well, okay. Yeah. Oh, look. I want to say, there's a reason for it, but I'll probably get into spoilers or something like that. But you can justify in your head, okay, there's not enough Bruce Wayne in this because of particular reasons, right?
Yeah.
But just be like, why is even the Bruce Wayne character in it at all, other than he is Batman? You know?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. It's like sort of no justification for him being in the film.
No, but this story, within this story, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really involve... It doesn't need Bruce Wayne.
No.
Even though you would have thought, like in the other films, that he could have used, if he's going to be more detective, he could use the Wayne Tech stuff. But that's that.
Yeah.
I thought Pattinson was pretty good as Bruce Wayne Batman. Well, it's more Batman. More Batman.
More
Bruce
Batman
Wayne,
than Christopher Wayne. Yeah.
Because he didn't act like a dumb, what's it called?
What, Mambo?
Himbo. A dumb himbo
yeah.
as Bruce Wayne. Because first of all, we never got the opportunity, and secondly, it wasn't relevant.
Yeah. Wasn't relevant. Oh, no.
Not that he can't do it, but it's just like, well, he's just 90% Batman in this movie.
Yeah.
And when I say Batman, I mean, like, when he's Bruce Wayne, it's just Batman without the mask Bruce Wayne. Not dumb billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. But, one of the things that sort of, I don't know, it's going to sound really weird.
Yeah.
His haircut, for me, doesn't suit Bruce Wayne.
Okay, I'll tell you what else. Not that in particular, but let's just say they slicked it all back instead, right? Because it's lengthy, and instead of it kind of cut going into bangs in front of his face, if it was just all slicked back, right, gelled back, that'd have been fine. Like the length of the hair would have worked for that. Yeah, but I know what you mean. It's just kind of, it's more of a Nightwing haircut than a Bruce Wayne haircut.
Yeah. Like I get that he's going to be like 28 or whatever at this point,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I kept on seeing myself just looking at his hair. Like this is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's more Bruce Wayne is more of a stylish character to keep up appearances with.
Yeah.
To be fair though, as we were saying, he never needs to. The times he's going out in public as Bruce Wayne, they're not exactly the greatest circumstances, right?
No.
But you would have thought still he would have, played himself up. A man of money,
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, I thought the performance was good. I liked it. I thought it suited the movie.
Yeah, I have no problem as Pat says. Not Bruce Wayne, as the Batman. Yeah.
Sometimes it just looks at these people and you're like, yeah, I would run too.
Yeah. The suit was, I liked it and I didn't like it at the same time.
It's weird because when you see Patterson stand next to normal people in when he's Bruce Wayne or not in the suit, he looks normal size. And then when he's in the bat suit, he looks so much bigger.
Yeah.
And you're like, fair enough for intimidation, but it's just like, man, I mean, to be fair, the things that it has to withstand, fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because he was like taking like shotguns and stuff.
Oi, spoilers.
It's not a spoiler.
No, let's not. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. It's Gotham. He's going to be, they are going to be shooting guns at him.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not really a spoiler, what I'm saying. But yeah, it was. That suit was just like handling it
yeah.
to a certain extent, obviously.
And sometimes a bit too well.
Yeah. But then this is kind of a problem with any sort of superhero film.
Yeah.
When it's convenient, things hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For plotline reasons or whatever. Because there's bits in this where he gets shot or something, like, okay, he walked that off, but then later on, he's lying on the floor in pain. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah, other performances, I thought, I mean, I like Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Yeah, she's really good.
Selena Kyle more than Catwoman, because she wasn't really... She worked the angle that her character would be.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, yeah.
Okay.
I want to say she plays the seductress like that because the role didn't require it. But it's like, there was like enough tension between the Batman and Catwoman. You're like, yeah, okay, all right, okay, I see.
Yeah.
The Riddler.
I didn't like this portrayal of the Riddler.
Yeah. No, okay, let's go. That's what I was... Okay, first of all, Paul Dano as this version of the Riddler. What did you think of that? Because I liked him playing this version of the Riddler.
Same,
I didn't know what he did with the Riddler because it was a bit too nutty for my tastes.
Yeah.
And kind of like just stripping away what makes the Riddler the Riddler.
Yeah, because like in this, he's more just like some psycho serial killer. Like influenced by like Saw, like he seems to be like someone who would be in the Saw movie. How they sort of done it.
Yeah.
And
now it's different, right? If they tweak it to, he sets up the traps, and then he's like, well, they killed themselves, right?
Yeah.
Because they weren't intelligent enough to get out, right?
Yeah.
But he's just like straight up, I'm gonna cause the later thing. There's things later on in the movie where like, oh, actually, you know what? That was smart, and maybe they should have just stayed in that direction.
Yeah.
But they kind of started in this direction, and then it's like, but you didn't need to. You didn't need to do it this way.
Yeah, it was a bit.
I mean, it was a bit like he just a bit sinister. Too much, too quickly.
Yeah, it was like sort of no like build up, and like especially because before this film, I went to my living room. My dad was watching Batman Forever, and that Riddler there. I was like, these are two different things altogether. What the heck? Yeah. But
that film, Batman Forever, where they put Jim Carrey's blush on after they put his mask on, because when his mask shifts, all of a sudden underneath is normal skin color.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Yeah, he
but
served his purpose for this film, I guess. But
Yeah,
I don't
and
think he should have been a Riddler.
yeah, and I think he played well for the role he was given.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought like Jim Gordon, Jeff Wright as Jim Gordon. He was a good Jim Gordon as well.
He was good Jim Gordon, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this not to say there's not much to say about Jim Gordon to be a standout, but he was actually very key in this movie.
Yeah. But like we were saying, yeah, no problems with him. He kind of did his part very well. The relationship between him and the Batman was pretty interesting.
Yeah, because it was like in this movie, it's like the forefront of how they because it starts in year 2, so they're kind of friendly, but it's more where they become more than allies.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Colin Farrell as the Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot, and I was like, wow, that makeup job looks great, because if you didn't know who was him underneath that, you wouldn't actually know it was him.
Yeah, you just totally forget. Like watching through it, I was like, wait, this is Colin Farrell. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes when you like afterwards, when you watched it, when you know it's him, and you're like, oh, there's key bits where you're like, I could see not trademark acting or with the signature stuff that he would do, but it's just like, oh yeah, maybe underneath that was at that point was him acting, right?
Yeah.
But then the rest of it is like you don't know it's him.
Yeah, exactly, which is pretty cool. The only thing I'll say though about the Penguin in this is his accent kind of threw me off.
Where was he meant to be from?
Not than that, it's like I never from like all the other things I've seen a Penguin in, he's like not a sort of mob-like gangster Italian stereotype sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, with a name like Oswald Cobblepot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in this, he was sort of that, so it kind of threw me off. I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. To be fair, yeah, but we'll just pretend he was brought up in wealth and then became a. I mean, that's kind of his origin in comics, right?
Yeah, of course.
So
but just
yeah,
it just kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was good though. He was good.
Yeah. I mean, I like I like the whole movie. I thought it was pretty good.
I do and didn't like the movie.
Okay.
Like, first of all, for me, like we've kind of touched on before, it was too long.
Right. But you don't think it should have been? You don't think it should have been longer, or you think they should have cut things, or you're saying if it was a series, adding additional bits, then it would have been fine.
Yeah, it just seemed like for a film. I don't know. I've got to a point in my life now. I think films that come to 3 hours is way too long.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
And going in at 10 o'clock in the morning and coming out like 1:30, it's like, oh, this is some of the. Sometimes I felt the film tried to be too artsy-fartsy and up its own butt, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Certain shots, how they were done, I was like, do you really need to do it like that? It's a bit OTT, but...
what I liked it was like it... I mean, it's not a low-budget movie, but
no,
they didn't make it look like, oh, we're going to throw CG everywhere. We're going to make it look amazing or something. It's like almost a noirish... I want an 80s style film-ish. But done with a major motion picture budget.
Yeah.
But not because we have money, we're going to throw money at it.
Yeah,
we just need to look at it a specific way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's high tech to look low tech. Kind of.
But like I was saying, some of the scenes and stuff, I just thought they're trying a bit too hard.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I'll explain later.
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't have a problem with the performances. You don't have a particular problem with the story other than it being slightly too long. Oh wait, okay. You're saying there's stuff that you would have sliced out. If it was your movie, you would have cut out some parts.
Cut out and maybe change certain bits.
Yeah, to streamline it, of course.
Yeah.
Because once you start cutting something, you have to make it make sense, so you have to adjust things later on as well.
Yeah.
I can see what you mean. There's some bits where you're probably thinking, you can shave a minute to here, off here, a minute here, maybe a bit this, a bit that, and it all adds up, and then you would have like a movie that's like 2.5 hours long or something like that.
Yeah.
But
that's alright.
Yeah. I mean, look, what I liked about this movie is it had set pieces when it needed to have set pieces, not for the sake of having set pieces. Like, I think there's only 2 major action scenes in it. One was the finale, of course, which is logical.
Yeah.
And another in the middle of the movie where it kind of, you don't really need it actually, but characters cause it. So it's kind of like, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was okay.
All right. Were you not high praising it, or are you just saying? You tell people? Would you say, oh, people, you should go watch it?
No, I say go watch it because it's a good
Yeah.
film, but just
Yeah.
like certain bits, like I don't know, I like people saying that the DC universe is too dark, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then I've seen the same sort of people saying that, loving this off, and I thought this is a bit not dark, but like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Well, no. I want to say it's got a kind of drained color palette. It does actually look.
Oh no, not than that.
Visually,
Like,
visually, it's not the brightest movie either. But
no, not than that. I mean, like, I'm kind of tired of trying to ground Batman in a realistic universe. It's
yeah.
why are we still doing this? I want to see Batman fight a real poison ivy who actually controls plants and stuff, rather than hey, it's this guy who's a bit nutty and he's sending riddles to people. I'm sort of tired of that at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, it's a good film. I'm not hating. Many people know I'm not hating on the film.
I'd say as a take on Batman, I like it as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's the thing. Would I say? I mean, my favorite film, Batman film, was Batman Begins. But between this and that, I'm like, ooh. I mean, Batman Begins was more Bruce Wayne story, and this is more of a Batman story. They're kind of completely opposite, even though they're both crime dramas.
Yeah.
And this is more action oriented that because we know that Batman the Nolan trilogy doesn't have the best action choreography.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need to rely on it.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Yeah.
But I would still recommend people to go watch this.
Yeah, recommend it. Yeah. It's a good film. I just want Batman. I want the Batman to be fighting like 16,000 goons at once and then fighting some ridiculous thing. You know what I mean? I just missed that.
Yeah, look.
Because we never actually realistically got that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. That's what, it's one. Okay, I get, and I completely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to have a straight up action movie,
Yeah.
And other times you like this detective story. It's fine. It's fine. But just give me someone more like. I don't want to say that over. Like, I mean,
not a CGI mess.
Yeah. Definitely not that. But if you meld the two together, let's just say like in the Arkham games where he's locked up in Arkham, right?
Yeah.
Asylum. Or trapped in Arkham Asylum or whatever it is. And then you could do both. You could have the way he's fighting people and a detective story going on in the middle of it as well.
Yeah, that's what we need to have. We need that at some point,
Yeah.
But yeah, recommend it.
Cool.
Recommend it.
Nice. All right. On to spoiler territory.
Yep.
I did actually like how they intro the character in the movie, how they say it out, like, they need a little narration to say it's in year 2.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And then about how the bat signal, what the Batman's representing to the people. Fear, vengeance, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, fear, first of all, because they think he's in the shadows all the time. It started off like a bit of a horror movie vibe, and I like that. I like that, because that's partially kind of what you should be getting from Batman. It's all about the fear.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And so when the kids go to terrorize, as everyone saw in the trailers, them kids go to terrorize that one Asian dude.
Yeah. Did you notice who the good kid was?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but our boy Tim Drake, right?
Yeah, I've seen. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. See, this is my headcanon is because this is actually he filmed this before he filmed that. That just shows you how fast TV moved compared to film. But also, Robert Pattinson got COVID twice or something like that. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good in him.
So they're just showing parts of Gotham where people just stop doing whatever they're doing because when they see the bat signals, like I think the drug peddlers stop peddling drugs, they run away. The people just spraying graffiti, like, oh yeah, we'll drop our cans and we'll just run because in the shadows lurks him,
Batman.
possibly.
Yeah.
Right? And then these punk kids, I'm not scared for some reason, but that's because they're punk kids and they're too dumb to be scared.
Yeah.
And then when he's back, when Batman stalks out of the shadows, and the one guy's like, "Who you meant to be?" He was like, "Wait a minute, everyone's meant to be scared of you."
Yeah.
You show him, Batman. You show him. You show him a good couple of times why he shouldn't be scared of you. Buff, buff, buff. And then while he's down, a good couple more punches as well.
Yeah, I was like, he's dead. Sorry, I mean, like, some of the things
that's
like...
typical Batman, but at the same time, it's like, maybe it should be in hammer fist, because then you can hammer fist in the chest. If he's down, you hammer fist him in the face.
Yeah.
He might not be getting up full stop.
Yeah, exactly. Like, ooh, that's a
and then, like you say, our boy Tim Drake, I can't remember the actor's name, scared so much from that, he just runs off into another universe.
Yeah.
He's like, F this.
Like, I don't need this in my life. It's like, runs off.
But I like that intro. It's cool because it showed off what he can do, and he was getting, and because he was supposed to be in year 2 as well, I was taking a couple of hits on his bat suit, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Didn't need to be perfect, like,
No.
100% Batman. Yeah. I like that. I like how the riddles were set up by the Riddler as well.
Yeah, they were quite clever.
Yeah. Except that people, because they show his riddles in the trailers, people solve it way before.
Yeah.
They should. And it's like, yeah, well, now we're just waiting for Batman to catch up with us 6 months later in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's some sneaky stuff as well, which you're like, oh, that's kind of twisted, but kind of like, I don't want to say coolish, but it's like, oh, it's quite logical for your character to do such things.
Yeah.
Like the thumb drive and stuff like that.
Yeah, the thumb drive, that one, I was like, that is quite clever. I never thought of that.
Yeah. And then the rats, where there's a rat, but there's a rat maze as well. And it's like, oh, okay. You just gotta kind of think, but it's not actually logical leaps of thinking like in Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Or even the 1960s Batman, where it's just like, not even riddles, he's just saying stuff, and you're like, right.
Okay.
You're just saying what you've seen.
Yeah, basically.
Not a riddle.
There's no logic behind any of this, but okay, sure.
Yeah.
Go along with you, weirdo.
Yeah. Here there actually is logic to it. And I do like how, towards the end of the film, Riddler is thinking he's working in conjunction with Batman here. He's like, I'm feeding you things that I need you to help me with, and you bring these, and then you help me, and therefore we continue together.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no. Batman's like, no.
No.
Hold on a sec, I'm trying to stop you.
I like that bit, and he's like, wait, what? No. I'm like,
yeah, he's having a mental breakdown. He's like, no, wait, we were together. We were in it together.
You're like, no, we're not.
I have to say, Selena Kyle's ski mask thing that she was wearing. Okay, the bodysuit, fine, right? Because I know when you get a leather suit that's custom made to measure to your exact shape, unless you purchase it for a particular reason. But look, she works in that club, right?
Yeah.
She works in the Iceberg Lounge. Maybe they do have suits like that. Okay, fine, right?
Fine, whatever, innit? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, when you work in a place like that, your body is your
tool.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to show it off. You need to show it off to make the money, the tips, or whatever it is. It's a shady place anyways, yeah?
Yeah.
Fair enough. You have the suit, fair enough, right?
Yeah.
But a ski mask, I'm like, first time I saw it, I was like, what?
Yeah. I was like, really? This is...
Yeah. I was like, okay, maybe if she's wearing it for the first couple of times and later on in the movie, she gets more of better headgear because, like, say, it's cloth at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Someone hits her in the head for something, yeah?
Yeah.
And then later on she's going, I'm going to have something a bit more protective.
Yeah.
Right? Fair enough. But no, she's wearing that thing all the time. I'm like, the rest of the suit is fine. It's just I can't take you seriously with that thing across your face.
Yeah. It's like so budget compared to like what he's wearing.
Exactly. And not only that, like you're saying, his suit's bulletproof, right?
Yeah.
She's just wearing a leather. Oh, is it even leather?
Something like that.
Shiny,
not really
sometimes
explained.
shiny material.
PVC or something. It's not really explained whatever she's wearing.
Yeah.
Not that it needs to be, but
No, but you would have thought if it was a biker costume and she's wearing she's riding her motorcycle, at least it's protected, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know what this is.
No, neither did I.
Yeah.
don't think they did.
I did like how the tech was, where he's got the contact. Batman's got the contact lenses, which, like, okay, first when he came into the first crime scene, he was surveying it after the Riddler killed the DA.
Yeah.
Not the DA, it was the person going for mayor, right?
Yeah. No, it was the mayor. The mayor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when he's at that crime scene, he's surveying it, right? And you're like, oh, they are paying pretty close attention to what Batman is looking at.
Yeah.
I think there's lots of shots from where he's looking at, and then back at him looking at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's kind of very steadily looking around. But then later on, when he goes back to his, I want to say Batcave, but wherever it is, right?
Yeah.
The underground tunnels of Wayne Underground Station.
I don't even know. Was it the underground station of? Was it something to do with Wayne Towers? What it was? Because I swear.
Oh yeah. Might be that.
It's not really.
Could we say that underneath Wayne Towers is an abandoned subway station?
Subway station, something, yeah.
Ish, or not, not directly connected to, but it's only logical if it's the center of Gotham or wherever it is there.
Yeah.
Then they might have a train station near or around it that he can just travel to when he's at Wayne Tower.
Yeah.
Which is far enough distance away from the entrance that most people could get across there, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. But he goes there and he takes his contact lens out and he puts it on the reader, and it's like, oh yeah, this is like recording everything. Okay. So then he goes back and forth around, like at the crime scene to look at on clues from his visual aid. I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, because I thought that was a good little. Even though this film wasn't really, he didn't really have much tech in it, really, or gadgets. The contact thing was pretty cool.
Yeah, most of the there's investigation work. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah,
and then there's where you put you take what people are saying and start creating a theory around it.
Yeah,
that leads you to the answer.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of by way of actual evidence. It's basically someone says something and then you connect it to something else and then you say, oh, you know what, this makes a lot of sense why this would be.
Yeah.
But there's never actually someone like concrete hard 100% evidence. I say you have to take these characters at their words for this particular reason.
Yeah.
Might it be threats or when they've got nothing to lose or that stuff. And like, even though you don't think of it like, oh, okay, they're connecting the dots just because people say it.
Yeah.
There was an instant where Carmine Falcone was telling Bruce Wayne, I did this for your dad, right?
Yeah.
And then Sal Maroni killed your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he goes, obviously though, I can't prove that. That's my theory. Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to take my word on it or something like that, right? You have to take my word on whatever, right? And then when Bruce is talking to Alfred later on, to confirm this information, Alfred's like, no, your dad went to Carmine Falcone for the electoral, whatever it was, the mayorship, and then he realized his mistake. But Falcone was like, well, if I help you, then I got you my grip.
Yeah.
And then after that, later on, after Thomas Wayne confronted Falcone,
yeah,
that's when he died later on. So it's like, oh, so Falcone killed my parents. Like, well, we will never 100% know because it could have been anyone, actually, to be honest. I'm like, yeah, that's the first time in this movie where someone said something where it's like, not that, we don't have enough evidence to, not evidence, we don't have to take everything out of the word, right? Yeah. But every other piece of information is given is just like, yeah, this is what I'm saying, and that's that.
That's that, yep. That's...
yeah. Even though it is just that,
yeah.
it's just like, you do not need to still confirm that is that.
Yeah, shouldn't you check this for references? Yeah, sort of thing.
But to be fair, later on, they don't ever say anything contradicts anything else.
No. Like, I nearly was like, when he kind of... I like that he kind of keep the whole motion out there, like, maybe they were just killed... His parents were just killed by a random thug.
Yeah.
Rather than there's, like, a, hidden agenda. I hate when they sort of try to retcon things like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of glad they kind of keep that open. Like, maybe it was just randomly Joe Chill who got scared, shot him. Shot the parents and ran away.
Do you prefer when they because when they changed it around 0 hour back in 1994, Batman never knew who killed his parents.
Yeah,
so it was waging war on. So as post 0 hour, he was waging war on the criminal element, in a way trying to find out who, like, the man who killed his parents as well. On top of it, So every time he just beaten up people in the night, he was kind of like
hoping it was the person who killed his parents. Yeah, I prefer that.
Because it's like
it's Joe Chill and rather that he doesn't know, and that's like the only mystery he's never solved.
It makes sense, doesn't it? But so like I also, okay, this is my headcanon, right?
Yeah.
The Riddler's killing certain people, and then he's going to he's killing one of the mayor, killed an informant. Then he's like, next person I'm going to get is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Because of the secret.
Yeah.
That Thomas Wayne is involved for Coney. So all these people that are involved in this massive conspiracy need to die.
Yeah.
Right? And if Thomas Wayne is not here, I'm going to take out on his son, because his son is just as corrupt as his father. Some shadiness like that, right?
Yeah. Makes sense.
So then when they capture the Riddler, and Batman sees clues like, I know the real you and stuff like that. What he means is like, not the Batman is Bruce Wayne. It's just that Bruce Wayne is corrupt as his dad or something.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the message, right? But it's a double meaning thing. Where you don't know if that's what you don't take into
You don't
account.
know if he actually meant that he knows who Batman is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when Batman confronts Riddler in the police in Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
And he's
or
like
Arkham Hospital.
And Riddler's just singing the name Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, does he actually know he's Bruce Wayne or not? And it turns out he doesn't, of course, right?
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, Bruce Wayne is going to die next because I didn't actually kill him that time I wanted to kill him, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, wait a minute, Riddler, you've been spending since Batman appeared, that's when you started enacting your plan, because you're like, right, we can be the symbol together, Batman.
Yeah.
You know? We can be the symbol of fear that this city needs to worm out its corruption.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. But I was like, okay, so the logical reason that he could find out that Batman is Bruce Wayne is he's also been trying to track Bruce Wayne down, right?
Yeah.
To enact whatever he needs to enact on him, right?
Yeah.
How getting his house breaking or whatever, right? That he does to kidnap him for, how he's done all the police force.
Yeah.
Not all the police force, but
the other
the relevant. Yeah. But if he can't find him,
put two and two together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Be like, where's this guy going all this time in the night when I'm looking for this specific period in time? Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I'm looking over days on end and he's not there, where might he be?
Yeah.
And then you're reading the appearances of Batman here and there. I'm not saying you can put it together, but just like, hold on a minute.
But yeah, you kind of get to there from that though.
Yeah. It's like I've stalked him for months on end here, right?
Yeah.
And he's never appeared in the night at all.
Because I thought that video, the last video that the Riddler does, I thought that was like him having footage of like Bruce Wayne becoming Batman, like dressed up as Batman or something.
Yeah. That's what I think they deliberately did, because it's like the unmasking, but it meant he unmasked the final corrupted people of Gotham.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, if it turns out he knows who Batman is, you could say he worked out simply because he was tenacious in his
stalker game.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, I can't play games with this particular victim if he's not around for me to play games with.
Yeah. What
must he be doing? And you just stalk him even more, and then eventually you'll catch him being Batman, because if he's around, you see him you find out where he is during the daytime, whenever, right? And once you finally do see the guy, you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna keep my sight on this guy.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna you make enough obsessive notes, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, if he's around this time or not at this time or not doing this, and like, my evidence to gathered is if he's not here at nighttime, he must be elsewhere at nighttime, right? But if I can't find him where he is at nighttime,
and like the film kind of
what I do like, by the way, in this Batman is he doesn't wear that suit all the time when he needs to transport. He's a bit low key sometimes. So sometimes sometimes he takes it off to ride his motorcycle. Yeah, and there was one time, one scene where he broke into the club, and then he stealthed in as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Then he took all the lights out and changed into Batman. But then he put his jacket or whatever on top of the Batsuit, and you're like, dude, you're walking around looking like Bane.
Yeah, like some of that stuff kind of confused me.
Yeah.
Like, obviously that bat suit is not going to fit in a like. You know when you saw him in the motorbike and stuff, he had a rat sack.
Yeah.
That suit's not fitting in any rat sack.
Yeah. Unless it really compartmentalizes well, and unless you're saying sections slide up perfectly into other sections and stuff like that.
Even then,
And I don't know how that thing folds, but.
Yeah.
Look, if you're the Riddler, you probably catch him switching out his like into the motorcycle at some point and be like, right, okay.
Yeah, there you go. Because it's not like the Spider-Man suit where he can wear it underneath what he's wearing because it's like basically just the onesie sort of thing.
Yeah.
The Batman suit in this film's like armor, so there's no way that's fitting in any rat sack and not gonna weigh a lot.
I do like the fights. There's a good couple of fights in this movie where he beats up the kids at the train station.
Yeah.
When I say kids, obviously, I mean them, 20-somethings?
Yeah.
Not willy-nilly, he's going to secondary schools or primary schools just punting kids in the face.
No. He's not that bad
yet. Right. But yeah, there's the fight in the Penguins Club.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, there was the fight at the end in the Penguins Club also. And I like how he takes hits during his fighting.
Yeah, you can tell he's not as polished as he will be later on. And
when he's fighting all those Riddler minions at the end in the where is it?
On top of the stadium?
No, Gotham Square Garden.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden. But yeah.
And he's having a bit of not a hard time, but with the swarm. But he's just like, you know what? Jeez, I need to inject myself with adrenaline to get through this.
Was it adrenaline or was it venom? Joking, no, it was adrenaline.
Yeah, it could have been. It was green after all.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was adrenaline.
No,
You're right.
It was. I'm just joking.
We're going to go to different storylines where he's injecting himself a bit too much.
Yeah, and becomes what he hates.
Yeah,
a junkie.
I did. I went. Okay, so a section that could have probably been cut or toned down was the cast chase, where Batman and Gordon are figuring out something shady with the Falcone's warehouse with the Penguin, right?
Yeah.
And they're like getting on the idea that actually the corruption in Gotham might still be there because the Riddler's feeding enough information. They're like trying to put the clues together. And this is where Penguin tries to get away.
Yeah, he's trying to get out of Gotham because he thinks he's next. Whatever, yeah.
And Batman chases him. And you're like, well, of course, Penguin, you're going to try and get yourself not caught by causing as much car crash damage as possible.
Yeah.
He's just knocking, like, he can't handle the one-on-one race with Batman. So he just starts, knocking other cars to knock them into...
Yeah, just causing destruction.
Yeah. And then, which was kind of funny, because when he knocked trucks over and stuff like that, and there's one of these delivery trucks that had a ramp or something like that. Batman, he does the nitro propulsion on it, Fast and Furious stuff. Now Penguin's all in front of this, and he goes, "I got you, you psycho!" Right, you psychopath. And then he sees Batman just blaze out like Dominic Toretto out the Fast and Furious 8 airplane.
Yeah.
Right? But I was just stunned by the nerve of this guy saying, "I've got you now, you psycho." I'm like, Penguin, you're the biggest psycho here.
Yeah, you just killed like probably 6 million people. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. It made me cry. It made me laugh. I was like, but then that's typical for them people.
Yeah.
To be like, then I want to say, then criminals that try to cause as much damage to get away as possible because they only care about themselves.
Yeah.
Then calling other people stuff, you know?
Like, well, if I'm honest though, that chase scene was probably like one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
Because it made no sense, and that's why it was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it could have just been a chase scene, and like, you know, him, and then Batman eventually caught up to him and nailed this car to the side of whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they went a bit more spectacular than they needed to.
Yeah.
But that was made me laugh. And then how they interrogated him as well when they caught him, and I like how Gordon and Batman are like a team, but even though GCPD is suspicious of Batman, and it's that section where was it? Where how did he get into the police station?
Oh, he got hit by the impact of the explosion that killed that snitch.
So one of the corrupt police officers,
DEA,
was put in a saw trap, of course.
Yeah.
And Batman he was basically saying you got to Batman's like to him, because Riddler's like, oh yeah, it's me and the Batman, I want the Batman here. You always think he's just trying to talk to Batman, but then of course when you on a rewatch you'd be like, oh Batman, my bestie, we could do this together.
Yeah.
And Batman's trying to help this guy from the bomb, and he goes, you need to give me the information. If you don't give the information, because he's asking you questions, right? If you don't answer, you're gonna die. And he goes, I'd rather die than get my family killed. And then, of course, explosion to the face. Which I was kind of weird, because it's like, fair enough if it only blows him up, right?
Yeah.
But you're right next to him, and it's quite a impactful explosion.
Yeah.
And shouldn't the first thing you do probably, if you think you can your suit can tank it, fine, but you need to raise your hands to your eyes and your jaw.
Yeah. Yeah, that made no sense.
But yeah, obviously he got KO'd there, and then they bring him to a police station where he's like Captain America waking up when the Avengers first take him out the ice.
Yeah.
I'll fight everybody here.
I like that
don't
bit.
care who you are.
Just dude was just running on like instincts. And like, dude, calm down.
Which I get. It's kind of fun because they were like talking about taking his mask off, and I was like, some of them were like, oh, take his mask off and check if he's all right, because they were taking his eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be like, we need to know who he is, and of course, Gordon, you assume Gordon is going to be there going, don't do that.
Yeah, maybe not.
Either that, or Batman wakes up and one of them gets electrocuted because they try to take the mask off and stuff like that, you know? Yeah. And then, he's surrounded by all the Gotham police officers, and Gordon's like, no, man, like, they're like, why, Gordon, why are you helping him? Well, he's here. And it's all of us. We could take that mask. We could beat him up and take his mask off if we want, right?
Yeah.
And then Batman's like, catch him up. You could try, right? Like, all right.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
I mean, not exact wording, of course, but
basically that's what it was.
yeah. And then one guy does try, and he just punches that guy in the face.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And the other two guys, I think, and he always fights them all as well. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know if it's worse for you guys here to be in this confined area with him, trying to fight him, because you got no maneuverability either. And you could just hit each other, and he could just all he needs to do is swing it, like do a giant give spinning clothesline, and he'd knock about 4 of you.
Yeah, just take you all down. But you guys think you could take out the Batman.
Yeah. So Gordon's like, give me a minute with the guy. I'll get him to cooperate.
Yeah.
Okay? How's he gonna do that, right? Because them officers seem to be a bit corrupt, or they just want to fight him.
Yeah.
All right. Once he walks out of here, he's going to be fighting them.
Yeah, it just makes it look worse on him.
I was very intrigued. I was like, Gordon, how are you going to get him and you out of this? What are you going to say?
Yeah.
Say it's not about Batman working with them, right? It's about them working with Batman, because you'd be like, Gordon could talk and working with the police officers, but they just want to fight him at this point.
And especially because at this point he's not commissioner yet, he's still just Gordon, isn't it? Yeah. And
basically what he says is, Gordon's like, I'll get him to cooperate. It's cool. Listen. And then, so they all get out, and they have to whisper it to each other, because they know that the police are listening to them, right?
Yeah.
Because the best way to resolve this situation is, you punch me in the face, take the key, and run away.
Yeah. He's like, what?
Run out the back door over here. Nod.
Yeah, and then he sees one of the guys that he beat up earlier. He was at the Iceberg Lounge. He's corrupt. And God's like, really?
Because
how'd you know?
Does he moonlight as a bouncer?
Yeah.
And then I think the other person says, he moonlights as a cop.
Yeah. Like, oh,
All right, fair enough.
I guess. Yeah. It's like, okay. Sure.
And yeah, so Batman does punch Gordon, grabs the keys, and
Runs
makes
like
his
hell.
exit out the police station.
Yeah.
In a really so he gets to the top of the police station with his grapple, yeah,
Yeah.
and then he jumps down with like his his aerodynamic suit is different from the one that the Christopher Nolan movies had because that was just a wings spread, like
Yeah.
a parachute. Here's like a full on whatever bodysuit they have.
Yeah. It was like a what can I say? It. Yeah, it's like one of those weird parachute. Yeah, like
Yeah.
jumpsuit things. Like,
But then
okay.
I was like, that's just kind of weird because what's the cape for then? Is the cape just
Yeah.
for dramatic purposes? Because I get it. Say if you get the cape right, and you're like, all right, I'll clip it onto my wrists and my boots, right,
Yeah.
and then it's a parachute.
Yeah.
But there was no, and like in Batman Begins, there was an actual use for the cape, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
because it doesn't really. Yeah. Now you're saying that, I don't remember seeing him actually use the suit and the cape to do anything beneficial.
Well, other than to make big back shadows, because woo, you know.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah. That's throw me through a loop. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're just look. Even when we're jokes in a movie, you start thinking there's a bit of logic that needs to be.
Yeah. Put onto
yeah.
it. But all right. Sure. I guess.
Yeah. So what was it? So yeah, after he beats up all the people in the Penguin, no, yeah. So I like how Falcone, they've taken a lot of stuff, different elements of the Batman mythos and put them together in this movie.
Yeah.
Catwoman's Falcone's daughter.
Yeah, because I know recently she's actually some daughter of some gangster or something like that. I can't remember.
No, she's been Falcone's daughter since the 90s or something.
Oh, she's always been Falcone's daughter?
Well, in Long Halloween, she was kind of unconfirmed as Falcone's daughter.
Yeah. Okay. My bad.
Yeah.
I know there's some weird thing in New 52, but that's New 52.
Well, that's probably, like an offshoot of what they were originally signifying in Long Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like they kind of there's a lot of subplots and stuff like that get resolved, right? That makes sense, but it's just like wow, I do like it. There's many things going on at once, but that was sometimes what makes for a good series does not make for a good movie.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, but that explains why she's at the club. I thought Falcone was going to know that she was his daughter, and that's why she was there, right?
Yeah.
At the club. But for some reason, he doesn't. So now I thought, okay, he's touching her face and all that stuff, right? Being affectionate. I'm like, just assume, okay. So Falcone had an affair with Catwoman's mum, and then she saw this child later on, and then it's like, okay, I don't know, it's my daughter. He doesn't know it's his daughter, but he's just like, oh, I'm friends with you because I'm friends with your mum. That's fine, right?
Yeah.
But I just got I was hoping it was like he knew, and that's why he's like, you know, even though he didn't say it, he knew that was his child, sort of. But not
Yeah, that's
really.
what I
Otherwise,
thought.
things start looking a bit weird and creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew there was something weird about it, but like, rather than the whole when he goes, "Oh, you in a relationship with her?" I was like, "No."
Yeah.
That's.
I did like it. She had her own story independent of him that crossed over.
Yeah.
As well. Her friend went missing. No, her friend got beat up. Her friend got abused by the district attorney guy who was going for the mayorship.
Yeah.
Because he was having an affair with her. Took her passport, so she couldn't leave the city. And it's like, wow, that's just, you know, controlling behavior right there.
Yeah.
And then I think because he was spilling information to her about certain things. And then you're like this as well. The club that's underneath the iceberg lounge where all the corrupt people go to their corrupt things.
Yeah.
The amount of drugs that go on there, right? and then drinking, and then people just spilling information that they shouldn't be spilling, right? I'm like, Selena Kyle got quite a bit of information for Batman just by walking in there and sitting down.
Yeah, it shows that like in Gotham, everyone's just like a snitch. It's just like...
Well, like, not necessarily when you snitch or not, but if you're high out of your mind, you don't know what you're doing to incriminate yourself. And it's like, but they know to be fearful enough that they can't talk too much because of how everything's connected. And it's like, you know what? At the end of the day, maybe you should just not be on drugs, and then you don't have to worry about opening your mouth.
Yeah, about all this, but all right.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah.
Such a bunch of losers. But yeah, it's just...
But yeah. So that she had an independent storyline that led to her trying to kill Falcone because he ended up strangling her friend.
Yeah.
Made sense, and it's like everyone. It's like she's not there to follow Batman's plot or to be like a buffer within it.
Yeah.
They just happen to be go after the same thing. Like Gordon as well. Gordon wants to find out the corruption as well. Batman's also finding out the Riddler, and Catwoman's trying to find out what happened to her friend, and it all just crosses over. All good stuff.
Yeah. She she felt like her own character rather than like Catwoman in Batman and whatever the other one was.
To be fair though, she does go from missing for like good stretches of the film.
Yeah.
But then you don't really realize it because you're like there's enough suspense where Batman and Gordon are trying to resolve something.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of Andy Serkis as Alfred?
I liked him as Alfred. My only another problem with his acting and everything, that I didn't really like the relationship between him and Bruce.
Well, to be fair as well, it doesn't get much to do.
Yeah, that as well, because like he's in it for a bit, and then you think he dies. I was like, oh wow, they killed Alfred, but he doesn't die. Yeah. And then you don't really see him after the whole Bruce. Your father wasn't a bad person, but a blur, the whole reveal thing. And you don't see him again, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he felt a bit wasted, Alfred did.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't have a lot of screen time for like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah. Had like 10 minutes in general. If you think about it.
I liked how the Riddler was like. His reasoning made sense because he was like one of the dregs of. Okay, so the whole point of the renewal project that Gotham Wayne wanted to do, obviously, was to renovate certain sections of Gotham.
Yeah.
Or put money in whatever, right?
Help.
And then when he got killed, the Falcone's like, oh yeah, I tell you what we want to do. We're going to take this renewal project, and then we can load the cash and all that crazy stuff, right?
Yeah.
We use our operation within our operation and just put faces to the project that we need. But I'm going to be in control of them all the time. So yeah. Because when the drug bust happened, that took look, Gotham City needed to put someone in power, right?
Yeah.
In the police force for our new face of corruption, quote unquote,
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh yeah, this is our face of justice. Except what it is like, no, we're going to hide our corruption within the system, Hydra style.
Yeah, basically.
So we're going to give like a, what's it called? Not a bait. What's the other one? A pansy.
Yeah, Ponzi. Yeah. A patsy. A patsy. Yeah.
And pretend that the corruption is gone, even though it's never been gone.
Yeah.
That's what the whole secret was, because then it's like, the mob is still in control. They just pretend they're not.
But the funny thing is, it's not really a secret.
Well,
it's
that's the thing,
obvious. I mean,
yeah.
Because like even like the new mayor, what's her name, Bella Real, when she was like, like a bit where they showed the first mayor, and she's like, oh, well, I did this, and she's like, yeah, but there's still this, and this happening, so you haven't really done much. So it's not really a secret. It's that the mob are still controlling when like drugs and stuff is still rampant in Gotham.
So Riddler is one of them people that got screwed over by the non-existence of the renewal project.
Yeah.
Grew up in the orphanage, started being all bitter and everything like that. And when Batman set about creating vengeance and change for Gotham City, he's like, oh, I'll tag in there, Batman, as well. I'll also be your buddy.
Yeah.
I know how it feels to be like, stepped upon. no doubt, like you have, and there's probably a reason why you're doing what you're doing. I shall help you. I shall assist you. You know.
Yeah.
And by causing all sorts of chaos and killing people, it's like, well,
Sure.
yeah. I mean, Riddler. Batman sends people to the hospital.
Yeah, you're just murdering people.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
But then they always argue in America, like some people for the jokes of it is, Batman sends people to the hospital and their hospital bills kill them, right?
Yeah, which is probably true. Or it sends them back into crime because they can't pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. Riddler's like, I'll just kill them and then they don't have to worry about none of that stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's what his actual logic was, because his actual logic was to inspire a group that can force change,
Yeah.
right? By way of terrorism, though, technically speaking. I mean, kind of is, right? It's not even technically speaking. It's just like,
it is.
if we just frighten the people into doing stuff, we can do it.
Yeah.
Right? But that's like a corruption of what Batman stood for, because he's like, I will frighten crime into stopping. I won't frighten the normal people into fearing for their lives. That's not what it's all about.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the finale makes sense where Riddler obviously not being a physical being, they've arrested him. He's like, oh yeah, well now I'm going to be face to face with my tag team partner, the Batman, yeah. And then we can enact the final plan. And then when it turns out Batman's like, nah, Riddler, I ain't taking the hot tag.
Yeah, it's like, nah, dude, you're on your own.
Yeah. He's like, oh no. Oh, you can't stop the plan. You can't stop the plan. I've already started with my
Legion
7
of
fans
fans?
full of explode. Sorry.
With his legion of fans, yeah.
Yeah. With his 500 followers.
Yeah.
On Instagram or whatever it is.
Yeah.
TikTok. I don't know. Right.
Something.
Yeah. So he's got these 7 vans around Gotham for particular purposes, right? Riddled with explosives, and when they blow out, they cause the rivers to flood in, which made sense actually. I was like, oh, you know what? He's actually very smart with what he does.
Yeah.
It's well planned, well coordinated. And then when that's happening, people have to go into the stadium for cover because that's where the electoral debate is happening as well.
Yeah.
Then we can use that chaos to shoot kill the renewal project, like kill the leader of the renewal project, the mayor, whatever it is, and also drown them all as well. The chaos done it, not us. Okay.
Yeah.
Like because all the group of Hamilton people that came dressed in the Riddler costumes to enact the final plan. It's like, of course they want to be anonymous because none of them want to be caught. But at the same time, it's like when there's a flood happening as well, people are going to be worried about getting out. They're not going to worry to see. Like, once you strip off your costume, you can be there for whatever reason as well. Like, what? Okay. But Batman gets there in time and he beats them all up and then he takes damage as well. And it's like, oh, that's actually quite slick the way they're doing stuff. Shotgun to the chest, like you're saying. I'm like, woof. Yeah.
That was... Looked painful.
Yeah. And then, like you say, Catwoman helps him. But he's down, obviously. He's selling the gunshot.
Yeah, because it just happens to hurt him now, because before he was getting hit with sniper rifle bullets,
but he was getting shot with small caliber guns. He was
getting shot with sniper rifle bullets.
Oh, shit, for real? Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Some dude. All right, so you're in the firefight. Okay, this is what I was like. Okay, as a dude, so you've got firearms, right? It's the only firearm you've got. Fair enough, right?
Yeah.
You're like, there's 5 snipers find the Batman.
Yeah.
You're like, you waste your bullet, you're gonna spend time reloading.
Reloading it, yeah.
Exactly. So you either make that bullet count for the shot, which you can't because there's too many moving pieces.
Yeah.
Or you can just take yourself out of that bullet because you're gonna get hospitalized anyway.
Yeah.
If it was me, I'd take the shot and then run because like if that bullet missed, I'm like, you know what, Batman? I'll just dive down into the water myself and kill.
Nah, you know what I would have done? I was like, throw the gun down, just jump with the harness, and just hang there. I'm like, I'll just do this. It's
Yeah.
easier than getting.
Look, that shot was gone.
Yeah?
I'm gonna get finished. I could take a finish with a good couple of punches to the face. I could just finish myself, just hang down here. And like, yeah. If it was me, like today, I take the shot. He looks at me. I drop the gun. I put it down. I make sure, like, put the hands up. Take the thing and be like, all right, I'm just gonna time myself up. Right, I'm gonna turn upside down. All right, climb underneath. All right, dropping down. Here we go.
Yeah.
Done.
I don't need this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Then he just as for finale for jokes, he gives you that dirty stare. I just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna have to wet myself just to stop coming to me even
Yeah.
more.
It's like that bit in was it Iron Man 3 where one of the guys, I can't remember it's in a superhero movie lately, and then the superhero looks at him and puts the gun down and goes, I didn't like working here anyway, these guys are weird.
Yeah, Iron Man 3, yeah.
Right. I just done that, like
Yeah.
caught in the moment. I'm sorry.
But I did how like when he obviously works out, realizes them Riddler and his minions have corrupted. Like, Batman introduced the Iron Vengeance, right?
Yeah.
But then he obviously realizes that's not the way to go.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to he stops like, so he's taken all the Riddler folks down, sees that the flood's coming in, and then you see all the chaos that's been caused because of the explosions.
Yeah.
Where something like a massive electric wave of thingamajig is going to fall into water, just end up killing everybody.
Yeah.
So he just cuts that off, cuts the wiring off.
Yeah.
Drops down to water, pulls his flare out, and goes to try and help the people. And they're all scared of him, of course, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if they think, because he's Batman, they're fearful, or they're thinking he's come to finish the job, or maybe he's one of the Riddler minions. Who knows exactly what, right? I mean, who knows what they're thinking at the period of time?
Yeah, exactly.
So he reaches his hand out, and it's kind of cool that they're all cowering, except for the one lone kid that then starts putting his hand out.
Oh, it's the same kid from the mayor's kid, who Batman's also always has some weird look at him. So,
yeah.
All right.
But I'm going to say there's two things here, right?
Yeah.
Either, obviously, like, kids are more trusting than adults, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, Batman, you pulled the whatever it is away from the thing that's stopping us getting out. I should trust you, right?
Yeah.
Either that, or he's just too naive and innocent to realize this guy could also be trying to kill me afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But but then he's like, for the Batman, it's like, if you're innocent, you don't have to fear me, and he doesn't beat up kids, right?
Not yet.
So. Wait, once you're over 15, 18, whatever?
Well, depends on what media you want to use. He did beat up, like, his Robins when they were kids to train them, so...
Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, we're going to say under 10 years old then, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Well, no. It depends on how much you're talking about beating up people.
Yeah.
How much is beating. But then have you ever seen Gotham where Alfred backhands like a teenage Selena Khan? We're talking about when she looks like she's 11 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
And he just backhands her in the face and like, wow, okay, fair enough. I see where you got your respect for women from.
Women from and innocent children, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Gosh.
But that was cool. And then, him realizing, obviously, I don't even know how you can tweak a fearful bat symbol to be a symbol of hope, but it can be a symbol for justice or something like that.
Yeah, rather than vengeance, justice.
Yeah. So and then obviously him and Catwoman, Selena Khan's going to leave Gotham to go to Bloodhaven or whatever, and he's like, "No, you could stay." And then they get to the bit where they're gonna kiss, and the bat signal comes up, and then he's like, then she's like, "I should have known that you're already
taken, because Gotham is your wife."
Yeah, something like that. She doesn't say it exactly that, but yeah.
That's what she's implying.
Yeah. And then
they go separate ways.
Yeah, and then at the very end, Riddler's Eddie Nashton is talking to someone else in Gotham is talking to him, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah."
In Arkham, sorry, not Gotham. In Arkham.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. And he's like, "Oh, here's a riddle for you. What's more valuable when you have less of them?" Something like that.
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
And it's like friends, and then they start laughing together, and then we are like,
yeah, because he said something about like, you always you don't become the clown and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Now this is what I was saying to my friend when I was watching. It's like, they're obviously implicating Joker, but that doesn't necessarily mean it is going to be Joker. They've left it like that for a reason, because if they can't work him into it or whatever, they don't need to. They can just say it's any other person from, because this is year 2, and he's obviously encountered some people in year 1. I say obviously, but you could just retcon it.
Yeah.
So this guy in this police cell could be anyone that they decide to use in the sequel. They never specified who it was.
Yeah.
And all it is it's like a slightly maniacal behavior. But then most of his rogue gallery do cover that. So
yeah. I thought, like, my interpretation of this, I don't know, it's like it crossed my mind for like a second. It's like, maybe the person he's talking to is the real Riddler.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's actually Edward Nygma or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Rather than whoever this guy is, because they never say that he's Edward Nygma, did they?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's got the idea of Edward Nashton and Patrick.
Something. What was that?
Yeah, Peter Patrick.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay.
And also, I mean, like, okay, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
With the Riddler, I was like, so let's just, if we go through the entire thing, and he never calls himself the Riddler.
No.
I mean, he does in the movie, but I'm just saying, in the movie, if he didn't call himself the Riddler and that's the name assigned to him, fair enough. You could just say that's not the real Riddler. If you know what I mean, like, the real version of the Riddler.
Yeah.
It's just that the police officers or the public or the media, they have to call this guy something. They can't call him the question mark serial killer,
Yeah.
So but then he names himself and it starts getting a bit more hammy. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
The Riddler says, Batman, no, you're wrong. I go, what?
Yeah. But like, I do hope they don't use the Joker. I'm kind of tired of the Joker at this point.
Well, okay. Now, the way that this film is where Riddler is the mastermind behind certain other things.
Yeah.
If they do it like that as well, where the take is the Joker's used sparingly in the film, but he's the guy that's behind the guys that are doing the project and doesn't get directly involved, I think you can use them well. It doesn't need to be necessarily the lead villain, but enough behind the scenes.
Like, I get, like, Joker's, like, Batman's most well-known villain or whatever, but, like, over the last 80 years, he's used all the time, and it gets kind of like...
Yeah. Even when it's not him, as in Gotham, he is still him.
Yeah. So it's like, come on. Unless you're going to do, like, a different version of the Joker, like when he became, like, that proper serial killer sort of Joker, where he's not making jokes and stuff like that, then fair enough, whatever. But,
but then look what they did to this Riddler. They've already done the kind of that.
Yeah, I mean, like, so it's like, there's other people you can use.
I have to say as well, that with enough tweets to this Riddler, that he's just maniacal as well. It's just like, well, your Joker's not going to be too far from this Riddler.
Yeah, so you don't need the Joker.
Yeah. With them saw traps and with them, corruption, and then the we are partners sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Like I said,
I don't say... sorry?
I was just saying, like, but like I said before, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of tired of the grounded Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want shark repellent and all that stuff.
I don't necessarily need that, but...
I don't need that, but, you know what I mean? It's just... Yeah, just... The grounded stuff's kind of getting to me now.
Yeah, I mean, like... There's... look, if they do a sequel where it's more action...
Yeah.
And with a criminal element subplot... Kind of makes... I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just... I don't know.
But with the way that this film series looks like it's going to go...
Yeah.
It's probably still going to be more crime drama.
Yeah, it probably will be. Yeah, but where do you see it going in the future? Like for the sequel and stuff.
Like you're saying, I mean, I hope that if it's Joker, let's use him sparingly.
Yeah.
There's loads of other rogues. That's partial the problem with the Riddler in this as well. What you've done to the Riddler is not really the Riddler. You could have picked someone else from the rogues gallery.
Yeah.
And tweaked it into that.
Could have been Saz or someone like that,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that probably would have made more sense.
Mm-hmm.
The way that he's killing people, anyways.
Yeah.
All right. And then you could say Zaz was trying to inspire a legion of serial killers or whatever as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Not that he's ever been like a what's it called, a major Batman villain, but you could even do like same with, you could tweak it into Firefly as well, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Be like, I'm going to burn these people down because of whatever, yeah?
Yeah.
And then inspire a legion of arsonists, Let's burn down the corrupt side of Gotham.
Yeah, and rebuild it on the flames of blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My problem was this, is like, they did kind of the cheap way of doing Riddler where you make him a serial killer. It's just like, yeah, but that's not what he's about. He's about trying to be the best mental challenge. He's got an inferiority complex, and he's just like, I'm going to be better than you, but no matter what. And then you just start trapping people in corners, and then say it's their fault because they're not smart enough to get out of it.
Yeah.
Obviously he's blaming them, but it's just like, really, you probably just made the trap that they can't get out of, and they died.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's never my fault. It's always them. Problem. Yeah, he didn't need to be the Riddler for this.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
Do you see there being a Robin in this series?
The guy who we thought was going to be Robin is now Robin in the Titans TV series.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's going to work anymore.
It's like, I could see them bringing in Dick Grayson, but not making him Robin.
Yeah, they thought, what's it, Jay, how do you pronounce him? Like Cargo?
Who?
The guy who's Tim Drake in the Titans series?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the one random kid that was acting so well for his, in his thug group, where he was just like crapping his pants just looking at Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was speculation, this guy's gonna, maybe he's gonna be Robin at some point. Is that gonna be inspired by how Batman beat down his friends and then become Robin? I don't know.
Okay.
They wouldn't say that. They wouldn't say that. They would say more like he's just gonna see how what he did was wrong.
Yeah.
And then as Batman's the inspiration of hope or whatever, he's just like he'll that's what this guy he'll maneuver himself into. But not the way I just said it.
No, but I get what you mean. But that could be a weird way to for me, it's gonna sound really weird. Dick Grayson's origin should never change.
Yeah.
Because that sort of makes him who he is.
Yeah.
Like, his parents need to die, and Batman sort of, guides him like, you don't want to end up like me, so I'm gonna focus you this way.
Yeah.
So you don't become a broken person like me. And, you can't really change his origin. Like, Jason Todd or Tim Drake, I reckon you can play around with their origins.
Yeah, I reckon either if they do Dick Grayson, they might just skip over Dick Grayson's origin already by that point and just be like newspaper reports of what happened at
they can
Circus.
Just don't need to show his parents' death or anything. Just the next film could start with you said a little flash over his parents died and Bruce Wayne taking him in, whatever. You just do it that way. You don't need to do the whole. You don't.
Though, as movie universes go, if you want to reorder the Robins, he could legit probably take in Jason Todd first because of how this movie is, and it'd still be kind of, not saying this movie is, but this universe is gritty crime, and that's I'm not sure if, maybe I have just Jason Todd take the wheels out of the Batmobile because look, that car's not exactly the most secure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But then I'm gonna say in the comics, it's literally it's a car in the shape of a bat in an alleyway.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to take the cars out and the tires out, you idiot?
You dumb child. Yeah.
yeah. Well, this looks like a souped-up supercar, right?
Yeah, you can sort of get around it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But even with Dick Grayson, you could sort of, if they to bring him in, in this gritty universe, it could be Batman trying to solve his parents' murder.
Yeah. At the B plot of it.
Yeah, the B plot of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is year 2. I don't know how many years they're going to skip. To be fair, I think Robin was supposed to join Batman in year 3 as well.
Year 3,
but you don't even know in the movie universe how they're going to do it.
It could be year 5 or whatever in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. By that time, they probably just they'll either have done their own trilogy and just skip it.
Yeah.
Or they'll have Batman. They'll do it in the final movie where they can spin off into a Nightwing movie or Robin movie, whatever. Where Robert Pattinson doesn't have to be Batman in those movies. You can just still have the dude in the suit be the silhouette or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just I like the one they actually see a good Batman film with Robin in it.
Yeah. or Nightwing,
or
one of his
Nightwing.
parts,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the film. Yeah, I like the aesthetics and I like the look of it. It's just kind of in its own universe for a particular reason, and it
yeah,
has its own particular style.
yeah,
That's been different from all the ways that the previous Batman film, because they do different iterations of Batman because he's a really flexible character,
yeah, yeah,
different takes on him as well. I mean, they all stick to, like we're saying, is a bit dark and gritty, urban reboot or whatever, but it's just like, yeah, you don't always need to do that.
No.
However, when you do this particular version of it done in this way also was I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah, I
Done
liked
well.
it. Like I was saying before, some of the shots and stuff were just a bit like we're trying too hard.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
bit where he when the DA snitch goes into his car and then the Riddler chokes him out or whatever it is, and kind of goes unfocused or whatever.
Yeah.
Just shots like that, I was like, really? Why? I don't get this. And then some of the bits at the beginning when Batman's riding around on his motorbike or whatever it is, and they got that weird melodramatic music playing around, like,
Yeah.
this seems a bit artsy-fartsy.
And the time where so when I said I could have seen use more Bruce Wayne, it's like the first instance is the funeral for the DA or something. So of course it's going to be kind of dreary. It's kind of fun. Yeah, you don't need to be foppish.
Yeah.
Second instance where he goes to the club as Bruce Wayne to get answers from Falcone.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, maybe he's just gonna get the way he's gonna get in there is just by like being I'm billionaire Bruce Wayne. I'm just gonna have a party time, and then once he's in there, he can switch to being a bit more serious.
Yeah.
And that probably would have been out of place in a film like this where he's never introduced that he can be an idiot.
Yeah.
Just suddenly turn into an idiot. All right.
Yeah. Because I'll give that's one good thing about the Nolan films. Bruce Wayne, like when he goes out to do like the public persona stuff, he's presented as like the billionaire playboy who just gets into like the swimming pool of a restaurant with women for no reason.
Yeah.
And in this, they kind of made him broody, antisocial teenager guy.
Yeah. If you're this is the problem with the Superman as well. But like in some instances when people don't buy it, it's like, look, if you're going to pretend you're not this person, you just be the opposite of what you think that person should be, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a moody bastard who came back around the same time Batman's appearing, wouldn't people more likely put two together?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a complete idiot, right?
Yeah.
People have no business thinking you're the Batman because you're like such a fool. Like people be like, get this guy away from me. I'm a rich money spender myself, and I don't want to be around this guy.
Yeah.
He talks too much crap, about how much money he's got. It's like, I what he's spending on, and he's spending on stupid things like gold leaf tea, coffee that he's, for $10 a cup or some craziness like that.
Yeah, that's something this sort of change in this film.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like Superman, in some, like, in the Christopher Reeve ones, whatever, when he was Clark Kent, he was clumsy and all that stupid stuff. So you can kind of get around it.
Yeah.
Man of Steel, as much as I love it, there's not real difference between Clark Kent and Superman.
In fact, sometimes, like, literally, he is Superman. That's Man of Steel, not to cast Henry Cavill as an actor, because I'm sure he could put it off if he was given the material.
Yeah.
But literally, his Clark Kent is Superman with glasses.
Yeah.
Right?
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. So it wasn't. It's not like, oh, you can say this guy and this guy are two different people in the same area.
Yeah.
He's just him. He's big and bulky as well, just as this guy.
Right. But like the problem with those films as well, they never actually had moments where he was able to be Clark Kent. They never established that in it.
Oh
so
yeah, even in Batman vs Superman, where he's talking to Perry, he's just like, you're not presenting yourself as Clark Kent. You're just presenting yourself as Superman with Kal-El with glasses on. Yeah, that's pretending to be human.
Yeah, that's one thing they should have worked on in those films. That's why I reckon I've always said if there was a proper Man of Steel 2, they could have actually done that where you actually see Clark Kent as a person rather than Superman.
Yeah, well, because they've set the tone for it. To be fair, like I was saying, they never need to be relevant to show Bruce Wayne persona within this movie.
Yeah.
So they could not necessarily retcon it, but be like, he's just been a bit like to himself because he's party time all the time, right?
Yeah.
That's why you never see him.
Yeah.
And then they can push that as like this idiot here never goes to a meeting because he's blacked out drunk, or he's like taking whatever drugs he's meant to pretend to be taking,
Yeah.
or he's on holiday, he's booked himself on holiday all the time, every time.
Yeah. It's good done. Like, because that's one of the other things I sort of had a problem with. Like, when Alfred goes, "Oh, are you gonna try and keep up your family's legacy?" He went, "This is my legacy, the vengeance stuff." Like, all the Bruce Waynes I've sort of ever seen, he's always been about keeping the family business going.
Well, to be fair, this is year 2, so it'd be like he's just come back from training. Even though it's similar in Batman Begins, where he just came back from training and he wasn't thinking the same way, but I can allow for it year 2 where he has to learn the lessons of balancing out, because it's like, this is, from what he's seen, it's like just in this movie, it's absorbed his life completely.
Yeah. And the end kind of shows that he's going to try and, even he says at the end that, he's going to try and do better. So I guess,
exactly.
Yeah. So I like that part. And now that I think about it, yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, I would agree with what you're saying as well.
Yeah.
It's just that they kind of put it at the end of the movie where, you know what, things can be done, not necessarily just by punching people in the face.
Yeah. I can do more with money. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Symbol of hope.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait a minute, but symbol of hope, isn't that the Superman symbol?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah.
But
we know that's... What?
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, but we do know that in this universe, apparently Superman don't exist, so...
Right. You're saying, even though there's some parts... Well, you're saying you just shave a couple of minutes off... Well, make the film smaller and tighter? Slightly shorter and tighter?
Yeah.
2.5 hours, you're saying? Or...
Yeah, maybe that.
Including end credits, 2.5 hours?
Yeah, including end credits. Because end credits is not that much.
Is it not about... Oh, it's almost 3 hours with including end credits. Okay, fair enough.
It didn't need to be 3 hours long.
Yeah. So I'm one of two minds. You could either go the way you're going saying it, or it could be longer because you need more things to breathe as a mystery. But that would have to obviously be, you can't make a 6-hour movie or something like that.
No, TV show. I probably could have hacked it if it's 6 hours.
Yeah. But it doesn't have material for example, to be a 13-hour or 10 hours. You have to have a short miniseries or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I'd recommend people go watch it. It's a different take on Batman, different one in the movie universe that hasn't been done before. But I think our problem is there's too many films about Batman.
Yep.
Give me some, you could not saying you could have done this movie with someone else, right? I mean, not saying that you could have traded Nightwing in and done a Nightwing movie instead because it's a particular style of film. But it's just like, I don't need to see Batman so many times. It's like, within the 30 years, how many? Exactly. 10 movies?
Yeah, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. Technically, Batman versus Superman.
Justice League. Both cuts, but we're going to just count them as one because, they
now this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. Well, it's not even 30 years, is it? No, it is. It's 30. It's about
32 years.
30.
Wait.
Yeah.
33 years, 89, isn't it? So yeah. Bloody hell.
Yeah. But yeah, I like not to say this film could have been done better with another character or something, but I'd recommend giving it a watch because it does show how different style of filmmakers do different films with the same character.
Yeah. I just kind of wish we got the Ben Affleck Batman film that was meant to come out.
How much do you know about that?
I don't know. Deathstroke was in it, and I was sold by that.
Deathstroke's in it, and if the fight was going to be anything like in Batman vs Superman, I'd have just that would have been a straight action movie.
Yeah.
And I think they were going to use the Arkham Asylum-ish storyline.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's trapped in Arkham and he's going to fight a whole bunch of people. But, it could have been something that would have been like an more action-orientated take on Batman.
Yeah.
Which would have been fine. But then, this is why I never got with the Batman, the Zack Snyder Batman. It's just like, well, there's Joker killing loads of people, right?
Yeah.
you're killing all these minions or whatever it is, right? And
Yeah.
you're crashing cars into them, right? And
Yeah.
yeah. So wouldn't you, logically speaking, killed people that are like mass murderers? So why is Joker
Well,
still there?
does he actually kill?
Well, I don't know if you're gonna say crashing a car
Yeah, I
into
know,
someone.
but you can say that
Yeah.
about all the Batman films. He's done all that stuff, but like,
Oh yeah, but he shouldn't have been doing those in those films either.
yeah, but like,
Um,
I know the Brandon thing is like, so he doesn't kill him, but other people do.
yeah, which is strange as well. It's like, wait, so Lex Luthor caused so many people to die, right?
Yeah,
He murdered those people in Africa. Like he had their hands in that, and then he blew up them people in the Congress,
Senate,
right?
Yeah.
And the Batman's like, well, Lex Luthor, because you're actually key to the plot, I'm just gonna brand you, or I mean, I'm gonna try and brand you, whatever, right? But I'm not gonna kill you, right?
Yeah.
These minions who do actually do all the killing and stuff like, because you're not ready for plot, I will just blow you up.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me,
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, that's that for that.
Yeah.
Would you say, okay, you're saying, I'm saying 2 thumbs up, definitely watch this film. Didn't have to be another Batman film, but it is a good take on a Batman.
Yeah, it's a good
film.
take on Batman. 1.5 thumbs. Like, it's a good film, but did it need to exist? Not really.
That's fair. That's a fair take. That's fair take as well. Yeah. All right, so that's us signing off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know when you watch it. Don't know if you've already watched it. Let us know what you lot think of it.
I mean,
Was
like other bits you liked, some bits
Yeah.
you didn't like, some bits
Yeah.
you think were quite neat for what they did and how they altered it for them particular movie universe.
Yeah. Did you like R. Pat's as Batman?
Yeah.
Did you think this movie needed to exist?
Yeah.
Or you want the camp where it's like the greatest movie ever?
Well, it's a very good detective movie. A David Fincher movie by David Fincher, strangely enough.
Yeah.
You know David Fincher, right?
Yeah,
He
I
did
know
Seven
David
and stuff
Fincher.
like that. Yeah.
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 So yeah, just let us know. Well, are you pro Batflix? Like Ben Affleck's Batman? Like I slightly am, but I like Patterson, so yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know through the Instagram and Twitter. Don't forget to like all that and follow us on those 2 things and our YouTube channel. So until next time, I have been the Knight of Vengeance, Kyle Charles.
And I'm the one jabroni cop in the police station that thinks I can fight Batman by myself. What an idiot. See my joke?
And I am Vengeance, and thank you for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.
Bye.